Hi, and welcome to Coach's Corner as we talk Ponca City High School basketball on this edition of our Coach's Corner. We're going to talk about our boys basketball team with Alan Hibler, our boys coach, as they're set to begin the high school basketball season. How many years now for you, Coach Hibler?
This is year 8.
Year 8.
Year 8.
Boy, that's hard to believe, but a young family when you came here, and now you've got one in college. How old's your little one now, too?
7.
Your little one's
Yep,
7,
little
and
7.
I don't think he was born when he came here. So
He was just a baby.
Wow.
Had just been born when we came.
Well, Cole's in college now. He's graduated, and Alan's son Cole, along with some other very fine seniors, last year left the team, and here we start a new era. Ponca City High School basketball, a ball club which has a returning starter and a very good player in Robert Nanny, who is a 3-year starter. And Robert Nanny's been a very dependable ball player for you, hasn't he?
Robert has been. He's been a really good ball player, and he's developed through the years. And he's really taken on a leadership role this year and stepped to the forefront, especially with the number of young kids that we have on the team. And he's kind of a coach on the floor for us right now, which he should be with that amount of experience and everything. But he is doing a great job for us, and we'll really have to rely heavily on him tonight because it's going to be a new experience for a whole lot of guys to step out there tonight, and we're going to need that senior leadership that he can bring to us as we try to calm things down tonight, because I would imagine it's going to be a little helter-skelter at times with all the new faces we're going to have on the floor.
Yeah. You've got some ball players, Coach, that have played a lot of high school basketball. The Stemkeys, Scotty Elston, guys that have been role players where you've given them some time when necessary, but they've never been the guys that have to get it done. So it's going to be a little bit, especially early in the season, the development for some of those players, which the names are recognizable, but they're just in different roles.
Well, they're going to have to step up, before they've come off the bench and been in a supporting role. And we've got Aaron and Caleb Stemke and Scott Elston in those roles, and we've also got Michael Mongold and Adam Nicholas that have seen a little bit of time. But now there are go-to guys, and I think that they will develop as the year goes on. We're a little bit behind right now because of the way the calendar fell, and football season ended so late this year, which was really, really unusual. And playing before Thanksgiving, that's something kind of new. I don't think we've done that since the first year I came here. So we've had to cram a lot in about 12 days. And, the great thing is, though, that we've got a number of kids that have been in the program and have an idea of what we want to try to do and how we want to try to do it. And we hope that's going to pay dividends this Monday and Tuesday night.
Well, we've got a new player, which a lot of times you don't talk about sophomores, but he's made a pretty good impact on your program, and Jacob Birnbaum is going to be a kid that, whether he starts or not, he's going to see a lot of action.
Jacob's a sophomore for us, about 6'4", move in from Lexington, Texas. His dad happens to be the principal over at our Lutheran school, just right across the street from the high school. We've been really, really happy with Jacob in practice, and he's done a great job so far as fitting in with the system and things. He came from a smaller Class 2A high school, and he's held his own in scrimmages. He's a little banged up right now, and the physicality of it and stuff, the 6A program, and playing in the 6A level, I think it takes some adjustment. It takes some getting used to, and he's slowly getting there, and hopefully he'll get his feet under him as we go, and the whole cast of them will, and we'll just develop and continue to get better.
If you could, let's talk a bit about some of the preseason action you've seen. I know we had a scrimmage that was canceled because of the weather, which would have been your scrimmage right before your first ball game. But if you could talk about some of the other things the guys have done in the preseason.
Well, we only got to scrimmage twice, once without the football players and once with the football players. We scrimmaged Pawnee before football was over, and then after a day of practice, we went to scrimmage Tulsa Nathan Hale down in Tulsa. They're doing some really good things. We're kind of rusty right now, and hopefully since that scrimmage on Tuesday of last week, we've been able to knock some of the rust off and get ready to play. And I got to take that back. We got an opportunity to go scrimmage Westmore too on Monday, and the kids looked really good in those two scrimmages and things for the things that we have going right now. The big thing is we just need time in the gym with the number of kids that we had come from our football programs so they can get up shots and get their basketball legs back under them and things. And, we're really not afforded that luxury right now with the season opening tonight, Monday the 25th against Tulsa Noah, and then a quick turnaround to play Southmore on Tuesday, November the 26th. But we'll get some quality practice time in over Thanksgiving and, hopefully get a little closer to where we want to be. But it's a whole long journey. I mean, we've got a long road ahead of us, and we just got to try to get better each and every day with each game and each practice.
What do you know about your first two opponents, Coach?
Well, Tulsa Noah has graduated a number of kids from last year, and Alonzo Trier, their best player, one of the best players in the nation. I believe he's one of the top 10 kids in the nation as far as coming out next year. He's moved to Washington, D.C. to a prep school, so they've got a few kids back, but they were role players, kind of like us. They do have a 6'8" kid that moved in from Memphis, Tennessee. That we haven't been able to see him play, but we hear he's the real deal, can play inside and outside. So we'll get to find that out pretty early tonight, I'm sure. And then next night we have Southmore, which we beat last year in the consolation finals of the Moore tournament. They've got a good returning cast, four returning starters. They shoot the ball extremely well from the perimeter. They're not really dominant inside, so we're hoping that our size can give them some problems and our length can give them some problems, and we can take some of those shots away from them. But, in tonight's game, we're going to have to be really solid defensively, and we're going to have to be really, really good on the backboard. They're going to go 6'8", 6'4", 6'4" across their back line, and they could give some trouble on the backboard, and that's going to be one of the areas of focus tonight.
You mentioned length, and I hadn't thought of it, but you could put a basketball team that would be able to control most of the offensive area of the court if you wanted to, couldn't you?
We can. We're really long this year. I mean, we don't have tremendous size, but we've got a number of kids that are in the 6'3" to 6'5" range, and they can cover a lot of ground with their length and things, and we hope that we can do some things to take advantage of that. We've tweaked some defenses a little bit and added some things, some different twists that we haven't done in the past because we've been primarily just a straight man-to-man team. And we're not going to go away from that because you've got to be able to play man-to-man if you're going to play those other things such as the zone and you're going to trap and things. But, we've added a matchup zone that we haven't used since we had that length back when we had Joe Thompson and Adam Shields and Mitchell Mongold and Aaron Stevenson and some of those big, long, lanky kids, which was really successful to us. And so we're going to break that out again and see if we can't get some of that going.
It also looks like you lost some of your three-point shooters, obviously, with the two Coles. And do you see maybe it being more of a team that has to work the ball inside that three-point line?
Well, we're not going to shoot as many threes as we have in the past just because we don't have the kids right now that shoot that ball really, really well out there. But, we're going to be patient, and, we can post almost anybody we have, with the exception of a few like, Corey McChristian, who is a point guard for us, and Landon Scott, and some kids like that. But most of our kids are able to post, so we're going to really look for mismatches because most teams are going to be stuck with a 5'10", 6-foot guy trying to guard 6'3", 6'4". So we're going to try to take advantage of that and expose that. We've got our kids that we have this year are really versatile. They can do a number of things, and hopefully that will play into our favor.
Well, the Hoops Fest, which is the 25th and 26th, one of the rare chances to see our team until after Christmas because the schedule is not real friendly early with a trip to McGuinness in Oklahoma City, a trip to Guthrie, and then a trip down to the Harrah basketball tournament. Most of our action's on the road to start the season.
It is. We get these quick home games, and then we won't be back home until December the 20th, which is the last game before break against Bartlesville. The McGuinness team is a really, really good team coming off a state runner-up finish last year with a number of kids back on the interior. They're replacing their guards, but they've got one of the best big kids in the state of Oklahoma. And Then we go to a Guthrie team, which is, you know, a perennial power in Class 5A basketball. They've won a couple back-to-back state championships when Pete Paparonis was coaching them and things, and you know, they just got a tremendous tradition. You know, for our sake, we want them to keep winning football games, and you know, go all the way and play in the state finals. So maybe they won't have all those football guys at that time, but. And then we go to the Hera tournament, which we're the 3rd seed in the Hera tournament. We're on the same side as El Reno, who is the number 2 seed. We'll open up that afternoon at 2:30 with Oklahoma City Northeast, which is a very good Class 2A basketball team out of the Oklahoma City area, one of the inner city schools there. And you know, it doesn't really matter if they're a Class 2A school. They draw from the Oklahoma City area, and they play in that Oklahoma City Public Schools Conference with Douglas and John Marshall and Star Spitzer and those people. So just a very, very good basketball program.
Who's on the bench with you this year?
Well, I've got Coach Parent back as my assistant for the 8th year, Lee Guess, who is back with us for the 6th year. And then our junior high coaches will help us out when they get the opportunity, and that'd be Jason Shelton with our freshman boys, and Chinnis Lamoran and Ben Steichen with our 8th grade boys. Coach. So we'll have a full bench. Hopefully we come up with some ideas and figure out a way to win some ball games as we go forward.
You always do. We'll look forward to it. Alan Hibler, in her 8th year as our head boys basketball coach for Ponca City Wildcats. Look forward to visiting with Coach Hibler during this season on Coach's Corner.